Hey, what's up, people, and welcome back to another edition of my channel, Wider Perspective. Some of you, once again, may probably kind of recognize me from my other and more popular channel, Broader Perspective, where this channel is, you could say, a spin-off of that channel. By the way, make sure you subscribe to not only that channel, Broader Perspective, but make sure you also definitely subscribe to this channel by this channel just now kicking off, because this is literally my second video that I'm recording. Anyways, so in today's video, I want to talk about this sister, this beautiful, intelligent sister who gives her perspective on why so many white people feel like they are losing their white privilege more and more day by day due to, well, I just shut my mouth, although I may still be chiming in off and on in between showing the clip. So if you give me the opportunity to share my screen, I'm going to show you her giving an excellent, I do mean excellent perspective on white people are pretty much no longer the most superior race.
Fucking take it. I saw someone ask, why is it that racism is starting to be ramped up? Why is it that white people are more unhappy now that they've gotten everything they've wanted with, granted, gas prices is up, food prices are up, but, 300,000 Black women have been laid off. The Black unemployment rate is 7%. They got all the Black people, the welfare, they didn't cut the food stamps. DEI has been repealed. They can go and be racist. They're giving a fund to the January 6th. Like, in theory, all of the racist things that Trump has promised them has come into fruition. All of the economic things, no, but all the racist things that they have been so excited to get, and they're deeply unhappy. And they are lashing out. They're driving up to Black people, calling them niggers. They are coming up and trying to intimidate Black people. They are so fucking unhappy. And they got the man that they wanted as president. Let me tell you why. It's because they got what they wanted. And the reality of what an abject failure a lot of them are is staring them in the face, and they can't stand it. They thought Black people were going to get fired from these highfalutin jobs that these uppity Negroes didn't deserve. And they were going to, with their high school diploma, walk in and take a job that a Black person with an MBA, a Black person with a doctorate had. They thought that they were just going to walk in and become professors, wealth managers, investment bankers. They thought that they had to do absolutely, that they were just going to open the door wide open for them because they were white, that the companies were going to open up the doors wide open. Meanwhile, companies are basically firing everybody and laying people off because of the AI. And the reality of that, Trump then plucked me out of my podunk town with my high school education and give me this big job. And they're still seeing some Black people driving around in BMWs. They still see Black people excelling in some careers. They are pissed off. Also, the reason why they're pissed off is that they're seeing Black people not truly give a fuck. They are seeing Black people, Black women resting. They're not seeing Black people storm the streets. They had an expectation. They had a fantasy that Black people were going to storm the streets, start burning down stores in their neighborhoods, start flipping cars and standing on cars, and that they were going to be the Kyle Rittenhouses with their machine guns and come into these Black neighborhoods that Black people are tearing down and start shooting Black people at carte blanche, because they knew they were going to get off because Kyle Rittenhouse got off. And then Donald Trump was going to pardon them just like he's pardoning January 6ers. They didn't get their fantasy. And they're seeing Black people survive. They're seeing Black people still laugh. They saw Black people trail dancing and with the fans and making up new dances on TikTok and still living life. in spite of Donald Trump, and it has made them angry because they're fucking miserable. They thought that Donald Trump being in the White House was going to give them a happiness and pride in being white, when the reality is their lives are actually worse under his presidency than under Biden. They're paying more for groceries, more for gas than they did under Biden. Farms are suffering more under Trump than they under Biden. They're watching their jobs, the little jobs that they had, be taken away by AI, and they had more employment opportunities under Biden than they had under Trump. And they're angry, and they're angry that they don't see us suffering as much as they're suffering. They want to see us sad with our heads hanging low and shuffling in the street. They want to see hundreds of Black people lining the street in homelessness. They're not seeing it. They are seeing immigrants being rounded up and put in these detention centers, and they know they're being tortured, but yet they're not feeling any joy about it. Like, they thought that a small brown child being tortured and raped in a prison system was going to somehow translate to their little white, blue-eyed, neurodivergent child being happy. They really did. They really thought that somehow the torture and pain of the minority was somehow going to translate into their joy, and that didn't happen. And they're fucking miserable. And so they're going back to their playbook of Obama because we got too fucking uppity when Obama was president. Oh, we were some uppity Negroes then, and they felt like they needed to humble us, and they were outwardly racist towards Black people because they felt they need to humble us. And now that they got everything that they want, they feel yet again they don't know what else to do, but they feel like they just need to humble us. And when we're still not giving them what they want, like, okay, call me a nigga, and what else? And it's not breaking us down. It's not tearing our spirit down. And people are still dancing and going to Beyonce concerts, and we still live in Bruno Mars. We're still fucking living our lives. And it is making them fucking angry. And they don't have anybody to blame. They can't blame the Democrats because the Democrats don't hold the House or the Senate. They can't blame the Supreme Court because they hold the Supreme Court. They can't blame the administration because they have the administration. This is the first time that poor white people have to actually look in the mirror and realize they are the reason that they are poor. They are the reason that they have voted themselves, continuously voted for Republicans, and they have voted for their poverty. They have voted for their misery. They are responsible. They are their own reason why they don't have a college education. There is no external factors because they are the majority. They have voted for the people to keep them down. And they truly wanted to blame Black people. They truly wanted to blame the migrants. And now that they cannot, now that it's impossible to not see that it's not the migrants, it's not the Black people. They don't want to accept that it is the Republican Party that they at their own hands have voted for. They cannot accept personal responsibility. White people have it is something in their epigenetics that they can't accept personal responsibility. White women will resort to white women tears when it comes to HR and them being aggressive towards a Black person. They will not accept personal responsibility. They must be the victim. And they are coming to their realization that Black people are the chosen people. They have always thought that white people are the chosen people, that God has chosen them. And I'm not saying Black people are chosen people in this weird ass Black Israelite way. I'm not talking like that. I'm talking about when it comes to Black people have experienced the absolute worst that humankind has to offer humankind. We have experienced the worst violence. We have experienced cannibalism. We've experienced slave masters punishing Black slave women by making the Black slave women hang their own children and then hanging those Black women as well. We have witnessed, they have forced Black incest. They have forced brothers and sisters to breed, to create strong slaves. We have experienced the worst out of all races on this earth, and yet we rise. And they are now seeing in real time, again, that Black people are the true chosen people, that Black people are the true superior people, and they can't fucking take it.
And to be honest, maybe that's one of the main reasons why anytime you may migrate to their quote unquote neighborhoods, how they have the tendency of always telling false lies to police officers just to be able to have you locked up and just to get you stirred up enough, not only to want to retaliate towards them, but stirred up enough to just eventually move out of their neighborhoods, as they so like to call it. Maybe this is also after this sister gave this excellent perspective on so many ways white people feel like they're losing their superiority and their white privilege, so to speak. Maybe this is one of the main reasons why, if we could go back a few years to when the pandemic was going on, so many white people invaded the White House due to how so many of them have this superiority complex to the extent that they hate taking orders, they hate feeling inferior to others, hate bowing down to others, especially bowing down and feeling more inferior to us as Black people. Maybe, just maybe, those are some more examples that I just gave of how they actually do subconsciously, I'm trying to say, feel like they are losing their white privilege, so to speak, more and more day by day. And to be honest, just like this intelligent sister stated, in all reality, we are the more superior race out of all other races. And she just spoke it, judging from a Black woman's perspective, and I'm giving you a Black male's perspective of why I feel like Black people are some of the more superior, or one of the most superior races out there. Because think about how we have some of the best athletes in all kinds of sports, and how anytime we may try to enter a sport that's more so Caucasian dominated, anytime you may have that, even if you had that one Black athlete, we usually dominate that sport. And not only that, but even when it comes to terms such as music, hip-hop music, we dominate hip-hop music. R&B, we dominate. When it comes to gospel music, we have some of the best sounding gospel music. When it comes to church service, we have the more better church services, I would like to say. Especially you factor in the musicians, from how emotional we get during church service as a whole as Black people, to the musicians, the music that the musician plays. Even the pastors, Black pastors, are more, I would say, exciting to listen to preach and watch preach. I mean, we are just some phenomenal people all the way around. And deep down inside, white people envy us. They do. They really do. And that's one reason why they like to come onto social media mocking us, trying to, sound more like us, trying to emulate us, due to how they are deep down inside very envious of us. Anyways, make sure to like this here video, share it, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, I'll see y'all later.